What is up, guys? Jake from OneHive here with part 2 of the family scrim. You guys already know the deal, so let's just get right to it. Looking at the other side, let's check out that top 3-star by Brady, taking out their number 6, our boy Master Wheat, and doing it with the govaho. You know I love it already. Coming in on the bottom here with the queen, just going to do a little bit queen walk up towards the top there. See the wizard on the left side, sort of creating that funnel, pushing her that direction. And the goal here is to get into that big compartment. Got the king, got the queen, got the inferno tower, CC troops, all kinds of stuff in there, potential giant bombs. Wants to get in there, clear all of that with those valks. You see, he does have the 2 freeze, so he can get in there, stop some of that damage, and just let that insane fast damage out of those valks, take out that core, and then just try to backside hog it with those 16 hogs, because those level, he hasn't even had the level 6 hogs. Just imagine this attack with those. It's just going to be so exciting. People get all their troops leveled up and really start practicing these go-vahos on Town Hall 10s. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, myself included. I'm looking forward to it. I need to get some more hero levels, but once that's done, some more troop levels, my golems, my spells, things like that. When all that's said and done, I'm looking forward to see if I can start consistently, or at least semi-consistently, 3-stars in Town Hall 10. So there you see the Valks coming in, a couple giants there trying to wall breaker in. Actually, didn't have any wall breakers. Just going to let them beat through. That's another thing about these Valks. With that increased damage, you can let them just beat through a wall. I mean, it's so much damage and it's so fast. They can get the job done. So right there, the CC troops coming out. It drops the poison down. It does have that balloon you've got to worry about, but the lava hound is inconsequential to the Valks and the king and all of that stuff. There's the freeze. You see him closing in right here. Watch this damage come out. One more swing and kaboom, gone inferno tower. Now you have the freeze on the backside. The hogs are closing in. Drops that heal spell down for me. Knows there's a giant bomb there. Just heals them back up what he can, and then as soon as they start closing in, the second freeze is going to go down in just a moment. It tries to heal up those Valks. There it is. That's that last freeze, trying to hold off that damage as long as he can with those hogs get in there, but really just sort of lost too many of them on the entry. You see they've got 2 giant bombs protecting that inferno tower. That's pretty rough. But a lot of the strings being soaked up. Everything's starting to peter out here, but he does have his queen up, got his healers on her still. Quite a few of the tanks out there in front, so the queen's not even being targeted till just now. And then those Valks still, look at those Valks, how tanky they are. I mean, they were getting hit by that Inferno Tower the whole time. They beat through the wall, get on there, help the Queen finish it off. Now just a few defenses left, and the Queen is going to be able to reach both of them over the wall. Boom, 3-star for Brady. Awesome job. All right. Let's see. Number 9, Trigger Man, taking it out. Doing it with, what do you know? Mass Valks. Holy cow. This is a strange base. This is an interesting base here because it's got this sort of I don't know, kind of like a horseshoe shape compartment there with all of this, like all of the HP of the entire base right up front. Well, again, 17 Valks can make short work of even all that HP, especially when they're close like that, touching. So a very good plan by Triggerman, just where it takes the ends out to where he knows his troops are not going to wrap around this base. Lets that sort of, look at the time on this. He hasn't even really started his attack yet. 1:30. That's how fast this happens once he unleashes everything. Queen on the bottom, lets her sit down there with some healers and just sort of do her thing. And then he wants to keep the queen away from the core. I mean, what does that tell you? I think you guys that watch the channel, you already know. Lava Hound in the CC, exactly. So he wants the queen away from there. He wants her to just do her walk, get what she can, and he's going to send all these Valks and his king and everything. I think he's got a golem in the CC, actually. Actually, he might have more Valks. Yeah. What's he got? Some goblins and more Valks up the middle. Everything going up the middle. Look how quickly all that high HP is just gone. Now it's gone. The rest of the base, they can just sort of waltz through one swing, essentially everything that they run into. Now, the one bad part is that, look at the Valks. They do kind of spread out. He does get most of them going to the core, but there's some on the left, there's some on the right. Kind of spreads out a little bit. Not the end of the world, but right there dropping the heal for the mass group in the middle. And then they get in this big compartment. They can just run around doing their thing. I mean, that's what Valks do. They left it like that. I love the heal. It was a small group of Valks, but look what he got for that. It takes all of this out because he healed up that small group of Valks. Excellent job there. On the right side, everything starts collapsing in. The queen's still walking around, still doing her thing, and then the few hogs he brought closing in on the back here, getting those defenses that the Valks, so they don't have to beat through yet another wall to get these last few. The queen takes out that archer tower. That means the X-bows are really the last threat here. As soon as these Valks get through this wall, it's done. The hogs meet them there, and that is that. And he swagged the heal spell. That's his king's ability. He's got both poison spells. He's got 3 wizards. All kinds of crap left over. Very, very good attack by Triggerman. All right, moving right along. Dropping down one spot. Doofy Dork. Is that right? Doofy Dork. Taking out Noah and doing it with This is like that. It's golems and wizards. I don't know what you want to call it. Go-we and a bunch of jump spells. And I'm actually sort of surprised that this is still working with the removal of the extra 30 seconds. The reason I say that is, I mean, this is a pretty slow developing attack. I mean, it takes time. They have to go through. I guess the upside to it is, and the reason that you can still do it and it's still a viable attack, is that there's no cleanup. Everything is killed as you go. There's no, like when a hog attack, you drop them all in and then they got to go all the way across the base to kill all the defenses, and then they got to come back and clean up anything else they left out, unless you have those cleanup wizards on the backside. But on an attack like this, I mean, everything just sort of, you take it as you go, and whether it's a builder hut or a defense, it all goes down at the same rate. So when you get to the end of the attack, it's over. There's no backtracking. So you can see he's dropping these golems down, these jump spells, these wizards behind his golems, just sort of working a clockwise motion, more or less, and letting them just filter their way through the base, take everything out. The queen's up there with her healers. She's doing her thing. Those wizards are relatively protected. Yeah, you're going to lose one or two, but what do you bring, 15 or something like that? So you got plenty. Golems are still moving forward. Those jump spells keeping them going. That one archer tower on the outside, and the golem is going to take that jump and get in there, join up with a larger group. And then here's the real threat, the Tesla farm on the backside. But again, when you got those golems waltzing into it, and what's that, 4 or 5 wizards are right behind them with the king, they make pretty short work of it, actually. So there you see the golems going in, taking out that little Tesla farm, pops that king's ability just to speed things along there. And then they're going to backtrack a little bit to this bottom compartment. The king's going to continue to beat through walls and try to get there. But I love these few balloons that he brought for this attack. Just a couple. I mean, just 3 balloons. Boom, boom. 1 for each of those defenses. They're both distracted by those golems. And then he uses another one similarly later. The queen sort of landlocked there, but she's going to finally get through that wall so she can get back in the action. But very few defenses left, just this little compartment up here. We'll fast forward. It's a pretty slow cleanup. But again, look at this. I mean, there's just nothing left. The wizard's back there doing that. The queen's coming that way. The entire base is done except for what's left on this little corner. He closes in. Queen shooting over wall. She's getting the last few real defenses. The king finally busts through that wall with help of those wizards. And that is that last balloon on that mortar. Excellent job by Doofy Dork. Okay. A few more for you guys on this one. Let's see, Treff Daddy 69 doing a mass hog attack. All 4 heal spells. I like it. Comes at it with a couple of golems here on the right side. Wizards, big high HP buildings. Going to drop those wizards down. And you see multiple wizards on some of them. Really want to take those out quickly. The king actually jumps the wall, which engages these 3 wizards, but he just gets them face melted there. They just have a wall breaker fail there. If you saw that small bomb come in, just had the wall breakers in on that bomb. It took him out. Now he's got to beat through the wall here. So not great, but the king does get the job done. The queen kind of goes for a walk, but that's not the end of the world either. She can still get quite a few defenses from the outside there. The king is going to get into that core, get the CC lured out, get some of those more defenses taken out. Just going to take some time. But on top, he drops down his a giant, a few hogs, wants to start sending them in here. You see the king there finally getting through that wall into the base. There's the hogs coming through on the top side. Queen walking around. And again, with it being a lava hound, just really not the worst thing ever that queen took off like that with the wall breaker fail. So there's the king on that Tesla. The hogs working their way through. That lava hound stuck on those hogs, which is absolutely perfect. Not even going to know that they're on there, to be perfectly honest. And then on the backside, he's going to continue to sprinkle these hogs in. You'll notice he still has this clan castle as well with 2 more heal spells. So that's a lot of troops left still. Hogs doing their thing, that nice poison spell. There's the heal spell he's waiting for on that Tesla farm of sorts. Drops down the CC hogs. They're going to come in. Those are maxed hogs there. You look at those. You can see that little hammer. Look, see the difference. Watch how quickly they make work of this little Tesla farm here. Come in. They're tanking it real well. He drops that heal spell for him. Boom, boom. Gone. I would like to see the CC hogs that are that powerful, that your extra powerful troops, probably be deployed a little quicker than that, a little earlier in the attack. But besides that, awesome job. I'm glad to see people are doing that. You don't really need the extra tanking power, especially with high-level heroes like this. You don't need the extra tanking power of those golems to be a max golem. Those max hogs, I think you're going to get a lot more value for. So excellent job to Treff. All right, a couple more, and we'll wrap this up. Dropping down to number 17. Checking out Diesel, taking out Cheatham. Doing it with a go-vaho. Pretty standard one here. Queen walk, govaho, normal number, 6 valks, 15 hogs. So pretty standard composition on this particular attack. It does have the level 30-30 heroes to contend with, but it's got 30-30 of his own, so I guess fair is fair. Let's see, we're up top here, dropping down a wizard, just checking out some of the trash, making sure the queen's going to go where he wants. Once that army camps down, pretty safe bet. She's going to head the right direction, steps up to that archer tower, and then from there she is going down. On the right side, you just got a minion down there, I think just poking away at some trash buildings. Excuse me, the wallbreaker, test wallbreaker going down, that's perfect, right on that junction. Let's take everything out, boom, there it goes. Now the queen can go anywhere she wants in those 2 big compartments, so that's good. A little skeleton trap popping there, gonna slow her down a little bit, but she'll clear that up and then move on her way into the base, taking out some of these, once she gets in there to that air sweeper, the air defense that's right next to it, those are high likelihood double giant bomb locations. So her taking those out on that queen walk, plus all the defenses she's grabbing, is actually pretty big. So right there, you'll see she locks onto it, taking out that air defense. Then she'll get up to that sweeper, drops the rage down. Here come the CC troops. I believe you see a poison. Yeah, poison right there, just sort of mass troops, more or less. But watch these valks. If they get through there, watch how quickly they still swing right here. Boom, that hit went off almost immediately. There's another one. Valks are looking... I think they're a very good defensive troop right now. I was telling someone on a stream one time I was going to do an attack with Valks. I had them in my CC after the change, and someone came at my base with some kind of crazy army, a lot of archers and barbs and some wizards and stuff, and they attacked so fast that they couldn't get the damage off on them. So in a war attack, when you do like a queen walk and you've got poison stuff like that, but on defending against, if you're defending resources, unless they're coming with an air attack, Valks are very strong guarding your base. So try it out. Then he comes in with his Valks on the right side with his king, creates that funnel, the jump spell right into that queen, and then as his Tesla farm pops, you see the queen sort of collapsing from the left side, the Valks and king on the right side, and then just those hogs right up the middle, drops the heal spell down for him, and this base is Dunsky. Right there on the Tesla farm, they're going down, the wizard tower is going down, that X-bow is still targeting some of those attacking troops. Giant bomb, it doesn't matter. Too little, too late. Takes out that X-bow. The level 1 X-bow still up, and there's a little group of defenses up here, but these hogs are just going to sort of work their way through. Nice poison. Take out some of those skeletons that are beating on him. Right there, the last archer tower goes down, and once that wizard tower goes down, that mortar can't do a thing. King, queen, all those troops doing cleanup duty, and that hog going to grab that storage as they get the CC in the core. That's the 3-star. Nicely done to Diesel. All right, last one is going to be down just one space, and Zetham taking on number 18 and doing it with just a cold-blooded loon attack. Go loon. Really nicely done, sort of an old school attack, but again, these things still work. He notices that 3 of those air defenses are up top on the base. The queen and the air defense are right there, accessible from the bottom. Does have it protected by all the HP in the entire base for the most part, but with that golem out front, his king and queen coming in behind, it's really not a big deal. I mean, he just doesn't have to worry about it. Let that golem take all the damage. As long as the air defense and the queen go down, which is basically ensured at this point, pops that king's ability, then it's a success. He knows he's in good shape. Right there, balloons already coming in, lava hound coming in behind it there, just sort of working this clockwise motion around the base, targeting every outside defense he can. There you see the rage spell for that balloons and those lava hounds on that first air defense, then more, and just sort of rinse and repeat. Works around, targets more balloons on these defenses that he can target, drops on just a haste spell up there up top, another rage spell for those cord balloons to get to that next air defense, and then finally the last lava hound and more balloons on the backside. So you see how it's just a nice methodical deployment, really, really well done. I don't have that really in my repertoire as far as balloons. I mean, I understand it and I know how to do it. It just seems like when I start the attack, I just start spamming balloons everywhere. I don't know why. I can do it with hogs. For some reason, balloons like a mental block. But that lava hound explodes, finally goes down. Last few defenses are getting targeted here. The lava hound is out front still taking for most of this damage from these archer towers. But that wizard tower is still getting some splash damage onto those balloons. But it's the last defense standing. It goes down, and now it's just cleanup time. There's a few pups on the backside, but honestly not many. Takes a little time for them to get everything done. And finally, as they sort of congregate on the left side, stuff starts going down pretty quick, and that's the 3-star. All right, there you go, guys. Family Scrim in the bag. Awesome, epic, fun time for everybody that was involved. Hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. Until next time, Jake from OneHive doing my best to help you guys suck less.